Good morning, Dashers and members of English 211 Ethnicity in American Literature. Um, this is Mr. Lelinski, and this is our first live instructional video on virtual learning. So, welcome to the online version of English 211. Let me first say that I am excited to restart the school year with you. I know we had a little bit of an interruption here, and that things are going to probably feel pretty different, but that I'm excited to be back with you and to be working together. I want you to know I miss you all, especially you seniors. It's been a few weeks since we've seen each other. And I want you to know, ladies, I didn't become a teacher to sit in front of a screen and look at a black dot that appears to be recording me. I became a teacher to be with all of you. And it's good to know that we can restart things together here because, like I said, I've missed you all. So I'm excited to get this going. As you can see, I'm not in my classroom. School is closed at this time. I'm actually in my office at my house where I do most of my grading for the school year and a lot of my prep work. So I'll give you a little bit of a tour here. Over my shoulder, you'll see back here is a poster of Glacier National Park where um, my wife and I went. We were actually engaged on a trip out to Glacier National Park, so that's a special place for us. And over my other shoulder, you'll see a bookshelf that I built after my wife and I moved into our home, and then I stocked it with books because that's kind of a thing I do. So reading and talking about books in case you guys haven't figured that out. So I'll probably be doing most of my videos from here. You can expect maybe one of these videos a week just to get us set for how things are going. The goal of this video is to show you a few technological things and then also to get you set up for some of the assignments that are going to be coming up and how we're going to handle discussion. You guys are fortunate in that you're familiar with the discussion board on MyDSHA, and we will be using that pretty extensively for a couple of different things for as long as we are out of the building conducting classes together. All right, so let me start by taking you to our bulletin board and talking about, I guess the first thing we'll go through is the key guidelines and key objectives. So on the announcements on the bulletin board, I'll post information about things that are coming up. You'll see I wrote all of these announcements yesterday because I wanted them to be ready for today. And the key objectives one is one that's going to be setting up for us what we're doing for each week that we have class. So I'll always post something right here in key objectives with the dates as a time frame for what we're doing. So if we look at that, our key objectives for March 18th to 20th are to familiarize ourselves with the online learning platform. And we need to be able to do a couple of things for that to work. We have to submit posts to the discussion board on MyDSHA, which I know that all of you know how to do. Be able to find relevant information on MyDSHA. Again, you guys are pretty good at that. This one here is a new thing that probably all of your teachers will be using called Microsoft Teams. And I'm happy to show you how that works when we have a moment to do so in the video. And then for our content material, we'll return to our discussion of ceremony on Friday, March 20th. So for the next day, for today's class, actually, we're really only worried about getting comfortable in an online setting. We're not actually going to cover any content. You do not have a CTR due. There's no reading assignment that's due for today. And we'll talk about those things in a couple of minutes, okay? As far as discussion is concerned, and really this is something for us to be able to talk about attendance. Discussion posts are going to be happening more frequently. These are things that we use for MyDSHA for CTRs. These posts are going to be assignments on MyDSHA, and they will actually count as your attendance. See, we are taking attendance as a school, even though you guys aren't present, because we want to make sure you're accountable for something for our classes for every day that we have class. So actually, there is a post on MyDSHA for today. It's pretty simple, and it's a post you guys need to fill out and submit so that you can be marked as having attended school today or having attended my class today. You should be prepared to post for each class period, and that's going to start today. So just be aware that that is the case. As you might already know, our schedule for this week is going to be that today, I think, is considered a blue day, even though we're not meeting together. And Thursday and Friday are going to be even and odd. For the next few weeks until Easter, what we have established is that we'll go yellow on Mondays, and then Tuesdays will be even, Wednesdays will be odd, Thursdays will be even, and Fridays will be odd. So what you're going to have to be aware of is that you're going to be doing stuff for each of your classes 3 days a week, probably except for that week before Easter, which will probably only be 2 days a week. So for my class, I would expect you to be posting and handling material for Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, okay? So be aware that that's the general schedule that's taking place. I'd also like to show you our new course schedule because that has been revised effective yesterday. So as we are opening up this document, I will just take a moment to have a sip of coffee. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. So for our calendar for English 211, a couple things you need to know. First of all, the reading schedule is changed. So you'll see there's nothing due today. Our next reading assignment is going to be due on Friday, and you have a post due for your CTR at that time. I haven't changed the deadlines on that post, but I'll do that today so that that's a little bit less confusing for you all. And then we'll go through some more reading assignments. This is actually kind of nice because instead of doubling up on an assignment for today, which was originally the plan when we came back from Vocare and when we restarted our discussion of ceremony, it allows us to progress through this in a little bit more appropriate pace. And what I really like about that is that it also allows for us to work through the text in a good way. It's really complicated, and I want to be able to support you with all of that. So we go through these reading assignments next week, and then the following weeks we're actually going to spend a considerable amount more on ceremony than we would have otherwise, which I think is totally fine because, like I said, it's a challenging text. One big change that's taking place is that we will not be writing an essay on the text Dreaming in Cuban. We're actually going to be writing an essay on ceremony. And in all likelihood, the length of that assignment is going to be reduced a little bit. So initially, or originally, that's planned to be a 5 to 7 page essay. But with you guys being remote, I want to make sure that you feel supported and able to handle the assignment in an appropriate fashion. So we're probably going to make that shorter than a 5 to 7 page essay. Also, I want to be able to give you as much feedback as I can right away. So that assignment structure is built here with the essay introduced. Your thesis due the next class, that's very normal. Your body thesis revision and body paragraph due after that. And then actually the Wednesday after Easter break. So you have 2 weeks of class, 1 week to here and 1 week to the Wednesday after Easter break. That'll be when the essay is actually due. So be aware that that's what's going on in the near term for our schedule. So if we close that out and take a look at a couple of other announcements that are really important for us to understand. Our course revisions are something of which you need to be aware. First of all, thank you guys for being patient and understanding. We've never dealt with anything like this before as a school or as a society, but I think it's really important to know that we're working as hard as we can to make this as normal as possible. A couple of big changes are taking place. Most notably, we will not be reading the text Dreaming in Cuban. All right. I love teaching this book. It's fantastic. But with losing the 2 class days that we lost yesterday and Monday, and also with this shift to online learning, which costs us this day today, I felt a lot more comfortable saying that we could limit what it is we're doing and do it really well, as opposed to trying to cover as much material as possible. Um, I am in conversation with Cardinal Stritch and Dr. Mansfield about research presentations. So I haven't completely decided how we're going to handle those, but more information will be coming on that in the next few days. As we said, a new research assignment, a new reading assignment schedule and assessment schedule is posted in the download section on the bulletin board. Please see the revised schedule to know what we will be covering and when we will be covering it. Let's see, I'm just looking down at my notes here to make sure we don't miss anything. Oh, with the discussion posts that count as your attendance, ladies, please know that you need to have posted before 6 p.m. My attendance is due at 6 p.m. So if I don't see your post on the discussion board for attendance for that day, then you will be marked absent. We want to make sure that everyone's accountable for every time we're supposed to be meeting. So it's really, really important that you post in a timely fashion for that particular reason, okay? So we've talked about our guidelines, we've talked about our attendance, talked about our schedule, and we've talked about course revisions, but one thing we have not talked about is virtual Dasher time. So virtual Dasher time is going to take place on this thing called Microsoft Teams. And I think all of your teachers will be using this. And it's actually something you have access to only because you have Microsoft Outlook as your school email. So what I can show you first is how to use that, and then I'll talk about when and how we can use that, okay? So I'm already in Teams right now, but if I went up into this app grid up here and selected this, I'm going to go back to Outlook to show you guys how to get to this, okay? So we're in Outlook, and you know, I'm not going to show you these emails because those are student emails. You don't need to see those. But we're in Outlook, and we go to the app finder, the app launcher they call it, and then we go to Teams down here. And in Teams, everything is set up by class. So when you get into Teams, you'll see this is my College Prep English 2 first hour class. Well, we don't need that. We need to go to all of our teams, and that's going to be, for us, we are ethnicity and American literature. So all I do is select that, and then I'm going to move this over so I can actually see the whole bar I'm entering on here. And I will say, hello, dear members of English EN 211, ethnicity in American literature. I am currently demonstrating how to use Teams. And then that gets sent to everybody in the class. The things that are really, really cool for Teams are the fact that everyone can see this and everyone can reply to this. If you have questions that you would normally ask via email, it might be way more efficient to be sending those questions via Teams, because other students can answer that question if they know the answer, and then I can answer the question to everybody as opposed to just one person at a time. So Teams can work really well for that. We can also do video calling. So if you wanted to call someone, you could. If you wanted to call me and set that up, we could do that. We could do a video conference so we can have multiple calls running, or multiple people running, taking part in the same call. So it's a really good system for us to be able to be in touch with each other when we're not with each other. You know, you can have an emoji if you want to. Like you go, oh my gosh, Mr. Linsky just posted online. So this is a really good thing for us to be able to use. With this, I will make every effort to be on here from 1 until 2:30 p.m. daily, Monday through Friday, so that if you're asking questions during that time, you can get responses in real time. Like I'll be at my computer looking at that and responding to you. If that's if you want to message me on here and it's not between 1 and 2:30, you sure can. I'm going to check this regularly, but I just won't, I might not be on it in real time. So just be aware that, um, if you message me at 8 at night, yeah, there's a chance I might take a look at that, but I might not see it for a half an hour or an hour or so. So that's just something of which you need to be aware. So Teams is something that we can use for virtual Dasher time, and I encourage you guys to do it. One other thing that you should know is I have not updated yet all the assignments that are in my DSHA and on Turnitin.com. So I built all that stuff with the understanding that we were going to be in school regularly. So all the assessment dates and all the things that are taking place are scheduled to our old schedule, which I need to change. So I'll be working on that today and tomorrow to update that so that everything that you see, Turnitin.com, the assignments on my DSHA, the topics, everything matches to what it should be and what the new schedule says it will be. Okay, so I hope that this helps you guys understand where we need to be and what we're going to accomplish and how we're going to do it. You can always email me, ladies. You can use Teams to contact me. I want to be available to you as much as possible so that we can support you guys. And I do want you to know I'm happy to see all of you again, even though I can't actually see you right now, and even though it's in a virtual form. And remember, you're strong and resilient individuals, and what we're doing right now as an institution might not be perfect, but I have every confidence that we're going to make this as good as it can be and that we're going to get through it together. So again, reach out if you have questions. And I look forward to hearing from you soon. Take care, ladies. We'll see you soon.